I'm not in the picture.
Well,
Hey, Lily, I have a
we
question.
will hear you now.
What's your question, Mike?
Before we start.
Well, we're starting the meeting.
I'll ask you after this.
Okay. Is this a not good question?
No, it's a great question. I want to ask you what you thought about my refrigerator vending idea.
Okay. I'm gonna ask after the meeting. You want to do the refrigerator vending? Your hair is more white every time I see you. You an anime character?
I'm trying to make it happen. Do you remember? He can be the new Coke coming in with a different color hair every time. Oh no, I'm not just white. Yeah, John used to dye his hair like every 3 weeks or so. He would come in with a different color.
I need to dye mine. I'm just lazy. Are we live, Kyle?
Oh yeah, we've been live.
Oh, cool.
Where have you been?
Here. Hello and welcome to the July member meeting for FamiLAB. We are live on the internet and recording this for posterity and legal reasons. So if you have anything to say that you don't want the internet to hear, keep it to yourself, please. We will start, as always, with Dan. I could have turned the camera towards you.
Oh.
This is the safe space to stand, or else you blind.
Yeah.
Don't stare directly at the projector. It's lasers.
And a lot brighter than the last one.
Yes, I'll try not to. Between last month and this month, we actually gained 2 members, which is good. We didn't lose any this time, so that's even better.
Yay.
We had, with donations, we had about $45 in donation box, about $195 from our Amazon Smile. There were a couple expenses that we had to cover recently. Obviously we had the AC repair recently, and then we have our insurance renewals coming up this month, so we got to cover that. But it's nothing really unexpected there. Our money, we've been a little bit in the negative for the past few months, just with some of the increase. The rent bumped up a bit, and then some of the increased expenses. Obviously, as we get more into the summer, our electricity is always going up. We're not in any. It's not nothing terrible, nothing to be scared of at all right now. We've got a good buffer in the bank, but we do need to work on the membership, making sure that we keep that up. Other than that, things are relatively stable.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to contradict me on.
She's the most stable individual here.
Yes, exactly. I look too much for stability.
I am chemically stabilized by medication.
There you go. Other than that, that's about all I have, unless anybody's got any specific questions about it. We're starting to, well, I shouldn't say we're starting, but we are making more of an effort to look into what other resources may be available to us. Every once in a while we keep cycling back around on the grants and other types of donations and things like that. So anybody that's got any good information, suggestions, advice, or willing to put in a bit of effort there, please contact either myself or anybody else on the board. Preferably someone else on the board.
Preferably Dan, because he's the treasurer.
Okay, no, preferably me.
Legally speaking, Dan or myself.
Yes. No.
And if there are any questions, we are on GuideStar, which is like if you're a nonprofit and you want to ask for money things, people check there to make sure you're actually a nonprofit before they give you money. You guys are gold or silver? I don't know.
Silver. And we're up to date thanks to some of our stable factors at FamiLAB. So, thank you.
I occasionally do stuff.
Yes, thank you for updating that. Appreciate it.
Give a suggestion.
Yes, of course.
Just float the idea out there to your members to remember FamiLAB in their will. If this place meant a lot, to remember FamiLAB in their will, because that's where the really big money can come in.
That's sure. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
So just remind people to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, please nobody die. It is a great suggestion.
It's an awesome suggestion.
No, it is. It's an awesome suggestion.
Yeah.
My only complaint with that suggestion is that means someone has to die.
I work with nonprofits, and I'm a nonprofit accountant actually, and that's where you always see the largest gifts come in when you get a bequest, and oftentimes it's just come out of the blue. You know, the organizations actively go out to create like a club, people that and honor the people that if you someone lets you know, hey, I did put FamiLAB in my will, you can, honor them and really play it up that this is something that's important to FamiLAB too. Not that you're wanting anybody to die, but the reality is none of us are going to have eternal life, right? So if you want the important things in your life to continue on after you're gone, this can be a really good thing for the person as well because they want to create positive change in the world or perpetuate the things that they care about, right? So you're really giving them an outlet to do that.
No, that's a great suggestion. I mean, I was just thinking that there was somebody that not too long ago, I don't know, maybe it was like within the last year, somebody who they weren't a member of FamiLAB, but there was the woman and her husband had passed away and he had been a tinkerer and she had all this old equipment, didn't want to throw it out, wanted to find some place to give it to and donated a bunch to us and kept saying how she had wished that he had known about us while he was alive. She didn't even know about us until after the fact. But yeah, I mean, sure. No, thank you. That is a good suggestion. Something I've never really considered.
You also don't have to go as far as going through the full effort of doing a will. Any company that gives you benefits that allows you to set up death and disability insurance, you can put a business or not a business, but a nonprofit on those as well.
There you go.
Beneficiary. Yeah.
I just filled all mine out, so I can't change mine.
Yeah,
I feel like
and if anyone works for Disney or Universal or any company that's larger like that and do a match for donations, it's a great way to donate more.
Yeah.
Because we are a registered 501c3, and that makes us in a special bracket because we're nonprofit.
Yes.
And our information's on our website, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, it's on there's a donate page, I believe.
It's got the 501c3 information, everything else.
I think there's a donate page. There was before the template screwed up.
We'll have a look.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is. Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Dan, for taking care of money stuff.
Also, if you really like us and your company doesn't care, put us on your Amazon Smile donation platform.
That too.
That's
But
1/2 of 1% of everything else thing you
But
spend on Amazon.
Sometimes it's a lot of money if your company has an Amazon habit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where the, what was it, 195 came from. We get donations quarterly from
Free
them.
money.
Yeah.
It's Orlando Hackerspaces Incorporated. If you're looking.
Which channel is it pinned in? Lab Ops, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't recall. To be honest, there's a lot of channels on Slack.
Yes.
Next.
Speaking of channels on Slack.
All right, you want to talk about Slack stuff?
Not really.
All right, then don't. Events.
Just reading Blackheart's comment. Sorry.
Just don't have the accident here.
Right.
Events. We would love to see more faces in our beautiful space, and y'all have beautiful faces. We need people. Someone else is getting back. Good. We need people to run events, workshops, meetups, etc. If you are interested in hosting a meetup, doesn't have to be FamiLAB related. If you have a group that needs a space, in the Slack channel events and classes with underscores in between, there is a post stickied that has details for that. We try to host some ourselves, but one individual is not a classmate, does not a classmate. And it's a great way to share knowledge. It's a great way to meet perspectives, get them in here to meet the rest of the community, and we would love to see more of them. Next on that list is too far away.
Tools.
Tools.
I mean, yes, but
We have a new tool Hold on, let me get the camera on it.
Turn a little to the left. A little to the left. A little to the left. Sorry. She got the joke, but
So this is a Snapmaker 3-in-1 machine. It is an awesome 3D printer. It has a CNC attachment. It was donated by not someone at FamiLAB, just someone reached out to us. Their name was Raven Sanders. So thank you to them for this awesome machine. We're still working on finding a home for it. But it's you can look it up. It's a Snapmaker 2.0, I believe. And Purge.
well,
Yes.
other new tools, powder coating, and someone used it before me. Powder coating setup works. Someone else used it before me. Katie used it. She powder coated something white. I don't know what it was. It looked like a piece of angle, but she powder coated it white and took it with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not here, but she did say that the leftover white is for lab use.
Yeah, it's out there somewhere.
Am I missing any other new tools? We got a new projector.
This new shiny works exactly the same way as the old one. Don't touch it.
It is very bright. The screen looks great. I don't think it will come like it. You can actually see it through the computer.
With all the lights on.
Yeah. Speaking of new tools, we got the new TVs from Crafted a while back, and with new stuff comes getting rid of the old stuff. So there's a few items on the purge table. There's 2 TVs, 3 TVs, and a couple computer cases. If someone wants to take them home, please do. Otherwise, I forget what timetable I said.
I'm going to toss them out. I'm gonna toss everything on the purge table and everything around the purge table that's purge before the end of the weekend.
End of the weekend. The TVs are not in 100% like new in box shape, but they do work. So if you would like a free TV and don't mind it being not 100% great, go for it. Yes.
Yeah,
Nafi?
there was one that was 720p. There was one that was 1080p. Both of them are older, and then there was the one newer 1080p one that needs the backlight modules replaced if it's not damaged.
Please.
Dibs on a TV, please.
All right, come grab them.
All right.
No dibs. You must get there, and you must put name on with sticker.
Okay. All right. I can,
Are you in town, Nafis?
What? Sorry.
Are you in town?
Yeah, I am in town.
Okay, if you were traveling, I was gonna put a sticker on there for you, but
Oh, okay. Nah, I'll probably drop down at around 12 tonight then.
Soft dibs.
That's totally acceptable if somebody wants to proxy dibs.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
And with the purge getting cleared finally, it might be time to start going around to the lab and migrating stuff that hasn't been touched and labeled and has 1.5 inches of dust on it towards the purge table. So please, please, please make sure all of your stuff is labeled or it may disappear.
Yeah, if you are leaving something at lab, label it please with your name. There's masking tape around, there's Sharpies around. Just label it in a clear manner so that we can see it, it won't fall off, etc.
Yeah, and are we gonna do the parking ticket thing that we've been discussing for years?
Maybe as we pick up. Like right now,
Okay.
not a whole lot of traffic. We are working on cleaning up the lab and getting things organized. I went through and organized a little bit the electronics table. What's his name? Ming helped me organize the laptop bar or the FamiLAB like 2 months ago, and I'm making my way.
Oh, we're gonna move this in there.
Not at the moment. We might move the electronics bench as we get busier, but right now it would crowd up the laptop bar a lot. But we're working our way through the warehouse next.
I'm just thinking out loud, maybe the library in the laptop bar and the electronics bench could eventually trade places.
That's a good idea.
Because a library in the classroom might make sense.
Or maybe library up front.
Yeah.
Anyways, as always, FamiLAB is constantly in a state of flux. It is the nature of bureaucracy, where if someone wants to do something, they can. We generally like to take consensus first, and of course, always, if the overall consensus after something is done is that the community hates it, please be willing to undo it.
And of course, if the community does not say anything, then just do.
Yes, all of this predicates on communicating with one another. So please do communicate with one another. It is how we have a healthy society. Just communicate in a healthy way and a respectful way. Bring up constructive criticism as opposed to it looks bad, I hate it. That is the end of the what is
Look,
it?
I found some. I was
Oh,
surprised if
the
we had any
parking
left.
ticket. Yeah,
I haven't looked at them, and
Yeah, they should be on the kiosk up front usually.
the green ones that I found left.
we were going to do the parking ticket system, and then with a lot of things at that same time juncture, COVID kind of happened.
Things happen.
Yeah. Like we're trying to rebuild and we're trying to make it as easy as possible to get people back in here.
And reclaim some space so there's places to work on things.
Yeah, just keeping things in a usable state. Yes, Sniff Fees, is that a new hand raise?
Yes. What is a parking ticket though?
So parking ticket system, Mike can explain.
I can explain some of it because it's been 3 years since I thought about it. So the parking ticket system is basically for a way for us to keep track of equipment in the space, whether it's someone's personal equipment, and yes, it's allowed to be here. You're bringing in a project or a big tool or something to use for a while. It would get a parking ticket that says, hey, I think they're green for that one. It says, hey, I couldn't find any green ones, but maybe find one. It says, hey, this is so-and-so's equipment. It's meant to be here. It's known that it's here, and
Here's the date.
here's the thing, and no one's going to throw it away. There was a digital component to this as well, which I'm not sure what it was. It might have been as simple as Kyle has.
I just dumped him in Milwaukee's full version of it.
Yeah, and I think I wrote something for it too, like a whole thing. But then we have this one, which says out of service. So you're using the laser or a 3D printer, and it suddenly decides to blow up and emit smoke. So you put this on it and say what happened, and you post it, so we know it needs service. And then there is a red one, where someone left something random in the space, and it shouldn't be there. So we put a red one on there, and then this says something like, if after 30 days from the date and time below, we throw it out or do whatever with it. I don't remember all the details, but I'll find them and I'll put them in the Lab Ops Management channel. That's the public one. Yeah. And we can talk about it and try to resurrect it. We don't have any of these printed right now, but we can work into that if we decide to resurrect this.
I think my big thing is communication. Like even with a parking ticket system, you have to have communication.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the plan was, and again, this was 3 years ago that I thought about this. I think the plan was whenever you put a parking ticket on anything, whether it's yours or something else, you take a picture of the ticket and post it to a specified Slack channel.
Yes.
And then there's a date and timestamp in a common agreed upon location that everyone knows about, and we can even have it as an auto join channel when people join Slack.
Yep. It's not something we're going to implement tomorrow.
Yeah.
But as we continue to get more people in the space, we do need to keep the space available for those people to get into. And that involves keeping tools where they go, keeping tools that are broken not in a spot
like
where they can be either repaired or in the garbage. Because our main goal is keeping FamiLAB accessible for everyone, old members and new members, to both. Yes, all
I wish
members.
I had a green one. There's probably a green one poster out there.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
One more thing that did not make it to the agenda, but I just remembered because you said something. Brian has started working on new code for the door access system because we are we're running on half-finished code from 10 years ago.
It's very secure.
It is, but Brian is going to be, if you would like to help with that access control, Brian's going to be available in lab ops and management.
Yep, and the first draft of the code is already on the FamiLAB GitHub in the access controller repo on a separate branch labeled rewrite 2022 or something like that. So yes, the draft is already available and it sort of kind of functions, but I need some operations type people who know things about deployment and who can take a second look at the code and make sure there aren't any glaring holes in it, and can help me cover some of the corner cases and error cases so that it's reliable.
Yeah, and we need to figure out what we're deploying it on and spin up a VM for that if we're going to do that.
Yeah,
Local.
the goal is that it can be like thrown in a Docker container and we don't have to care about where it runs. Because,
Right.
and if it shuts down or an SD card dies, it doesn't matter because the actual database is going to be in the cloud and more
Right.
to update.
What are you writing in it?
JavaScript, because that's what I know.
Can we run it on a Steam Deck?
Yes,
Okay, let's do that.
so yes, please help developer or DevOps.
I will be of no help. I don't know how to program.
I'm really good at breaking something else that someone else has programmed.
Okay, then that might be helpful.
We do need people to try to break it, I guess. That's part of
Just please don't get annoyed at me. I'm going to try to break your system.
I mean, it's going to be in JavaScript, so a more modern language running in the cloud. So, but we do also need to rewrite the microcontrollers for the NFC reader as well to go with the new code.
If you need access to the GitHub, post in the channel.
Yeah.
And one of us will get it for you.
Yes, so,
The lab ops and management channel.
should be one of the ones that you auto dropped in.
yes,
When you join.
so if anyone's really good at like Arduino C, that might be helpful as well. I have an ESP32 and the NFC reader breakout board that we can prototype with. I'm not able to run the usual microcontroller workshop this weekend, but if somebody else wants to run it, I'll drop those things off and you can tinker with it. So yeah, new door system incoming.
Hooray!
And it'll be able to expand to beyond the door into like the machines as well, which has been on the long-term plan for how many years now?
6.
At least 2.
The building's wired for it. That's how long it's been on the plan. 7 years, 8 years? I don't know how long. I'm old.
There's lots of wiring in various places.
We left Cat 6 wiring at each door location and at several key machine locations, specifically for a remote access control system that had never been implemented. So
Yep.
So help make it a reality, finally.
All right, thank you. I was waiting to see if anybody else wanted to chime in. I rotate the camera slowly. Now is the part of the meeting for open discussion, show and tell, questions, comments. What have you been working on? What's been going on in your life?
I brought a new number.
Hello. We'll do member introductions after this section.
Did you work really hard on it?
I'm working on a new guitar. If you know where my desk is, if you go there, you see a Les Paul influenced guitar that I've been working on.
Out in the warehouse, though?
Yes.
I'm gonna go grab it.
Where is it, Hafiz?
You know where the how do I say it? Oh, you know where the big drill press is?
Okay. Yes.
In the woodworking section.
Mike's going to go get it.
Yeah, it'll be over there, in the table just beside it. Yeah, so I've been working on that, and me and Al, we've been discussing about pitching up an idea of having a sound lab. So I don't know what you guys think about it. It's like a separate enclosure with acoustically treated kind of a space where you can test out different instruments and stuff. Yes, that's it. Thanks, man. Yep, that is it.
It's really
It
nice.
smells delicious.
Yeah, it's mahogany, and the top is curly maple.
Beautiful, yeah.
Looks like guitar.
Wait, how many guitars is this now?
It's the second one that I'm working on right now. Like after joining FamiLAB.
I'm putting it back where I found it.
Thank you. Thanks very much, man. Appreciate it.
Looks really cool. I know we did used to have someone used to run a second Saturday multimedia night where they would come in, make a bunch of music, make a bunch of noise as well, and just jam out. And one of the people involved with that is still active, is still around, and I can poke him if you want to. Though Sean did modular synth meetup.
I was gonna say.
Awesome. And I don't know if you see.
Yeah,
the
they
drum-
alternated weeks, I think.
Right. I don't know if you can see the drum kit over there. It's Al's. So like, me and him, we were gonna come and like do like a jamming session with his son. So yeah, we wanted to like pitch the idea to the board about a sound lab kind of a thing. If you guys are okay with it.
We currently don't have any neighbors, so you can be as loud as you want.
No,
It's moving
it's an
in.
electric kit, so it won't make that much of a bang.
You got a month to be as loud as you want, then you got to be a little more careful.
The neighbor that's moving in though isn't like a sound studio.
Okay.
They're actually a manufacturer, so they don't care if you're loud. Unlike our old neighbors that tried to put a concert venue and recording space in an industrial park and thought it was a great idea.
And they had their stuff so loud it actually threw off the calibration on our machine.
Because they were having concerts back there. I didn't know what like the full extent of it till they moved out, and I'm going through it. I'm like, no, this is an actual concert venue.
Yeah, they had a live sound stage. They had a booth for the mixer setup and recording control. It was pretty intense, apparently.
I have some show and
is it-
tell.
Eileen, can they post that in the Lab Ops and Management channel because so it doesn't get lost and we can talk about it later?
Yes.
Thanks, Lily.
I do like the phrasing you used on that though, the UFO, the unfinished
Oh,
object.
She did it before I could get to it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh Lord, I have show and tell. So they're gonna sit. No, Mike, come hold it, please. I'll be your Vanna. Yeah, be my Vanna, please, so I can tilt the camera down.
Will you buy me a dress?
I'll buy you a dress.
Thanks.
So late last year and into January, I was working on a bunch of 30-pound robots, and this is one of them. I finally managed to snag it back from over at Maker Effects. I'm fixing them up for Maker Faire, but if you ever want to see what a 30-pound combat robot looks like, this is it. It's very beat up, and every screw is loose, but I'll be working on those over the next
So it's
few
metal
months.
hardened.
Yeah, it's battle hardened, kind of.
I mean, the aluminum does get work hardened.
Yeah,
It just gets brittle though.
but these ones, they were fought for multiple times a day for 3 weeks straight. So they've been put through their paces.
So it's a solid design.
Yeah, hooray!
Sounds like you just need some more Loctite.
Yeah, and like I got into super crunch mode, so like I started skipping screws. So I actually
It's fine.
Fix
Every
that.
engineer does that.
yeah,
It's fine.
I was like, man, I designed a lot of screws in these. And I kept breaking 1032 taps, which annoyed me.
Switch to 1024.
But that's my show and tell for today.
I have nothing, but I'm holding Lily's robot.
Thank you. Thank you for holding Robot.
Weigh approximately 20 pounds without its armor and batteries and everything.
I don't know. I didn't weigh it. 30-ish pounds. Does anybody else have any show and tell?
I could screen share a show and tell.
Do it.
Where screen thing. You were here the other night when I was putting it on. I did. It's just more board stuff, just another tire swap. I got the Enduro for the GT, and it makes it about 1,000 million times better. So the stock tire that they have, basically hard rubber lasts longer. So to avoid having to like warranty swap a bunch of people's boards, like the stock tires for the GT and the Pint feel like you're riding a hard marble. It's this really thick, hard rubber, and the sidewalls especially are so thick that they just don't give. So if you hit anything, you just feel like it's going to toss you. I hate the stock tires. Whereas the Enduros are a lot softer and they've got a contour that's really designed to hold an edge nicely. So the other night went disassembled the board, which is actually easier than even the Pint or the XR because you can actually, the way that they've done like the U shapes on the hubs, you actually don't need to. On the XR, you actually have to separate the rails from the sides of the board. So this is in the front is the control box, and the back is the battery box. You actually have to separate it and get the tire out. Whereas this, you can actually slide it out while leaving these all attached to each other, which is pretty nice. But I had this real fun time where I put the tire on the right way round because I paid attention to which way around the motor wire was. Second guessed myself, remounted the tire, realized I did it wrong the second time and didn't want to accept it and had to remount the tire. So yeah, having to rip a tire off a rim 3 times is exhausting.
Quantum theory of enduro tire.
Kind of. I shouldn't have second guessed myself because I took a photo and made sure the wire was the right way around and everything, and then I started to mount it and didn't think that I had the board upside down, so the arrow facing backwards was actually correct. Yeah, that was a fun time. However, I've ridden it like over 20 miles, about 1,000 times better. It actually, instead of feeling all of the road surface and every bump and everything, it actually is just like whisper quiet and eats it. So it's nice.
I wonder what the tread life's going to be like. Sounds like
I've
it's
heard
soft.
between 500 and 1,000 miles, which is not bad.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, between all the boards in the last 6 months, I've done about 12 or 1,300 miles, so it might last 6 months. And I ride that one a lot more because I can get with my body weight like 24 miles on a charge, and I will just like go out and run the motor down or run the battery down. I'm a bit of a masochist like that. But yes, one wheels are an addiction. Don't get into it. It's a money draining addiction. But I enjoy it. That was me.
Awesome.
I guess you should just be glad it's a one wheel with having to take the tire on and off 3 times.
Yeah. Imagine it was a quad or something.
There you go. If you like building devices with one wheel that have electric motors and power controllers, imagine if you had 4 wheels and you run a strict budget. See me later.
I think Lily has something to say about that.
Eileen is raising their hand.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, can I screen share? Sure. Okay. I think I can.
You may screen share, but can you?
Can't exactly. Okay, since we're talking bots tonight, so I don't know how to make a bot or code a bot, but I work with nursing home residents who also do not know how to make a bot or code a bot, although some of them are former rocket scientists, so they probably do, but they're just not able now. So we are starting. Dun, 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 dun. Is it showing?
Yes.
We are starting Bot Ball. Next week, we're doing our first pilot test of our Bot Ball tournament games, which are store-bought remote control toys, playing ball games collaboratively, And the thing that we've made are the bottles that you see in the picture. Does it show my arrow?
Yeah.
The bottles that you see in the picture are all eco bricks. Those are stuffed tight with plastic, clean, dry plastic bags to turn the bottles into bricks. And we're making the arena, maze, or obstacle course for the games out of bottle brick. So, and the residents have been helping, the nursing home residents have been helping pack bottle bricks. So this is a celebration of some of the bottle packing that they've been doing over the past, since January. That's it.
That's cool.
So I haven't joined yet, but I wanted to meet everybody on this way first. So awesomeness.
I was wondering because I was like, wait, did I miss a member application?
No, I saw the meeting. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit in and keep my mouth shut, which didn't work.
Our meetings are open to the public, and we love seeing awesome projects.
See, that's what it said, so that's why I jumped in. But yeah, I'm glad to meet everybody this way, and hopefully we'll be able to, follow up with a join up, routine soon. So.
Sure. Let us know when you're ready.
Okay, cool.
We'll hopefully be here unless Dan runs off with our money again.
Yeah, I said you guys have been around a while, so that's great, and you're much closer than the other place we were driving to, way on the other side of town. So.
Maker Effects is awesome, and we are friends with them. But yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think I've seen some of you over there. They've been helping us build a. It's kind of been a relay. They've been working on. Various people have working on a plastics granulator because we'd like to chop up crisper plastic with a machine so that they can bottle it easier.
Oh.
Like just scoop it in, to the bottles. Yeah. So it's coming along. The project that we have is passed hands like a relay race a couple different times, but we're still working on the do-it-yourself plastic screen. I don't know anything about it. These guys are helping with it, and so we're moving along with that. But we currently the little silver things you see, those are actually like chip bags, and the softer plastics we cut now with an AccuQuilt with essentially a die press, a roller die press machine. So we got plates specially custom made to make these little hexagons, and so that makes chipping down our plastic bags faster.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to move the meeting along because I just realized
I don't know how to stop screen sharing.
Oh.
There it is. Okay.
It's okay.
We're gonna do your show and tell into your introduction.
Oh, okay.
Since
Welcome new members.
Yes. This is also cool. So please come to the front, introduce yourself. You can go next.
Yeah, you're gonna get into it.
Oh no, I can.
You're both applying, so you're both gonna have to go through this.
Hi, my name is Daniel. In the Slack, I'm variable name. I have known about FamiLAB for a little while, but I've never managed to get out here. I know through acquaintances Willa, who you may or may not know. I am the previous president at HackUCF. I was there during my undergrad. Anyway, so we have a big thing coming up, DEF CON. I don't know how many of you are in industry, but
what's DEF CON?
It's Hacker Summer Camp is what it is. And so when we're out there, we like to put on a little party called FortiVan. And unfortunately, the person who usually runs and operates FortiVan while we're out there, John Singer, could not this year because he's recently a parent. So all of his duties are there. But we decided we were going to do it anyway. John's got a really great habit of making these really fantastic badges that are just the coolest thing. Usually you like hack your way into it. I think the last one that I saw that he made was a weather app that like output on a multifunction display a bunch of details, and then part of the challenge in the badge was getting the actual room number for the party. So you had to kind of work with the badge. Nice. We didn't have enough time to do anything quite that amazing this year, but instead we decided we were going to do some badges like this, which is what brought me to FamiLAB and why I'm becoming a member. So basically what we got is these acrylic badges that have a switch and a light on the top of them. So they're just side lit like plastic badges. And we are engraving them to have this on it. So this is the badge that gets you into the party.
Can you show the badge really close to the camera?
No, yeah,
no, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Well, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna order this?
Recreate it.
Sure, but then, okay, cool, good job.
All right. Okay.
So this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it,
That's the easiest way to get into a con, by the
Yeah.
way.
but
Yes.
Yeah, so first project at FamiLAB,
I
and
don't know anything about it.
happy to be here.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
I would argue it's slightly easier to just buy a ticket to go to a con.
It's the challenge.
Well, normally you stay up here and people ask, see if they have any questions for
Oh,
you.
well, I guess you guys do that.
Because it's a meet and greet, we need to ask you questions as well.
Well, it was kind of a 2-in-1.
Yeah, you were showing off your.
Right.
Does anybody have any questions for Daniel?
Yeah, sorry about that.
So how long you been going up to DEFCON for?
My first official DC where I actually paid for a badge was 27, but I've been stationed out in Vegas for 25. I've got a friend that's been going for years, I think since like 23. So, yeah.
1923.
No,
years ago?
definitely DC 23.
Oh.
It was 2 years ago. There were papers that were scattered all around UCF that had a picture of a house with different amounts of open windows. There were 6 windows, like 6 squares in each window, and there were a different number of windows on different pages. Did you have anything to do with that?
Oh.
Because it was a puzzle, and I spent weeks and weeks on it and still couldn't figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
There was a tree that was part of it somewhere too.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
working on
We,
that. over
there was like
upper
4
floor.
or 5 of us like in here that were like really trying to figure out this code. No one ever cracked it, but I was wondering if that was like some secret club. I'm sure it was.
Oh yeah, but I have no information.
We tried for way too long to
Yeah.
figure it out, and I think we're pretty smart people. We couldn't figure it out. You didn't ever get anywhere?
No,
Yeah.
we
I
had
tried
everybody
everything.
at Overflow. We were two buildings down from it. It was the one.
We could find the
one
pictures and
was
bring
like-
them back
yeah.
out. I'll comment on them so they pop back up in the top of the thread,
Yeah.
and it'll annoy you for weeks.
Yeah.
But you mentioned like puzzles and solving things, so. why I thought of that. Would you have done something like that? Something clever that would have been way too difficult to solve for anyone to?
Kind of. So like, if no one's aware of what Hack UCF is, it's a cybersecurity club at UCF. The entire idea is to get people that like are coders or engineers or want to get into security, give them like access to it. So training and like information, kind of like the same thing that FamiLAB does really, but just like more just strictly focused on cybersecurity. During my year as president, we made sure that we did a like a little micro challenge every single meeting. So there was always a solution with it, but yeah. So you would get it at the top of the meeting, and then you would get all week to do it, and then we'd reveal the answer to it the following meeting, so that everyone could kind of like keep up with it.
A great follow-on question. What do you want to teach us here?
Can you teach us how to do that?
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of my focus is on crypto. So I do a lot of that. Right now, I'm in an internship with a company, and I'm getting a bunch of certs to do Splunk architecture. So if we want to talk about like big data platforms, I can help y'all architect one of those out.
There would be people who might be interested. Not me, but other people.
Yeah.
So what would you like to learn from us?
Ooh, so right now, a lot of laser etching, laser cutting, doing a lot of that. 3D printing is kind of the next big one that I wanna tackle on like 3D modeling and being able to actually like take something from here and put it out here. But badges too are going to be like PCB badges or something I'm interested in doing. So that would be a lot of fun. Everything, I guess.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're now
Dismissed?
You're now dismissed.
Do you know Shay Silverman?
Not by name.
That's all right. He's a loser.
I'll be watching.
He's not a loser. Shay's awesome.
Shay
Your
is
turn. Go.
He was in the chat earlier.
Hi Shay, we love you still.
You're not Shay.
No.
I'm but I do like Shay Shanaz. Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Delaney. I am Daniel's fiance, so I'm kind of here by proxy, and I think you'll find him be much less interesting of the pairing. I don't do as much hacker cool stuff as Daniel does, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I used to do research on a hands-on lab for like EKG stuff and embedded like medical devices for defibrillators, cochlear implants, and most of the research that I've published is on like psychology surrounding like human.
Wait, you have
interfaces.
published research? Yeah, you're too good for us. You can leave.
And you said you weren't interesting.
I wasn't primary author on anything, but kind of the psychology of how people work with fishing, why they continue to like fall for fishing, or why they continue to not fall for fishing, even though.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
so,
fishing.
Yeah, so I work in cybersecurity.
Lily's like bass.
People fall for fishing?
It's because you don't have good traction on their food.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's just
So I can tell you a story.
fell for fishing.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Good. I just have no idea what else to say.
What were you saying, Kyle?
I can tell you a story about fishing another time.
No.
Which one? Which spelling?
The one that starts with a PH.
Okay.
Oh. What's your favorite fandom?
See, that's a difficult question.
All right, let's narrow it.
Defines you.
Let's narrow it down. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle, and why is it Leonard?
Leonard.
I wouldn't say I have a favorite Ninja Turtle. I was always a really, really big fan of. I forget her name now, but the one they always crushed on. That
April O'Neil. Sit down.
I was.
You know what? I was willing to look past the published scientists, but not knowing April O'Neil. Ugh.
Have you ever experimented with implanting electronics in your own body?
No, but I want to. Part of kind of what raised my brows when you guys were talking about the NFC door mechanisms is that we've always wanted to do home security that way. I've always wanted to have like implanted.
We have members who do their home security that way.
Yeah.
And have access to the door the same way.
I'm very, very interested. I could never convince my brother's an EMT firefighter. And I was always like, listen, you have the lidocaine, you have all of this sterile material.
There's a video.
Not,
There's a video online. I believe it's private or hidden where someone was getting one done here.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't use lidocaine. They were just, not a whiff about it.
Oh, well.
Allegedly.
That was Dave, wasn't it?
At the risk of, I feel like we're towing a line.
We're not towing any lines. We're not talking about anything specific.
I don't recall.
That
I know.
is not something you should be doing
Don't do it here. But we can talk offline if you need to know where to get the stuff. If you've got money, we can share.
Any other questions for Delaney? Thank you. You may sit.
We should introduce her to Mike.
Which one? What one?
Delaney.
Oh yeah.
Because he does medical, or did medical.
I forgot your name already. I even typed it. David?
Close enough.
Thank you. Here, introduce yourself to the camera and the audience
Hi,
live.
everybody. I'm Sterling. Will also respond to Dave as well.
Perfect.
My main job is to live in his house and annoy the ever living crap out of him. I figured by becoming a member here, I could maximize my time. No, I'm kidding. Realistically, David has brought me in here just like as a guest before, and I've seen him do like the 3D printing and all that stuff. And most of what I've done over my life has been digital, and I kind of feel like I want to do some projects that are hands-on. What else? Well, what are some basic questions that you guys would even want to know?
What can you teach us, and what would you like to learn?
What would you like to learn from us, and what can we learn from you?
Yeah, that.
Excellent question. So, I have built and designed websites for God knows how long. So, if anybody's interested in that, I do that in my sleep. If anybody's interested in a lot of digital marketing stuff. So, if anybody's interested in learning about Google Ads, Facebook ads, I haven't gotten trained in Google Analytics 4, but I do know enough of the basics to be able to go do that training if anybody was interested in that. I know some pretty basic SEO stuff. If anybody's interested in like any Zoho suite product, like so Zoho CRM, Zoho whatever, built and designed CRMs. Done a lot of weird, random techie, not that techie, although when we talked about big data, my eyebrows definitely raised. So yes. Because data warehousing is where I wanted to kind of start to move into, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and then learn from you guys. Like I said, most of everything I've done has been digital. Weird, you can hand me a computer and I can feel pretty confident, or an iPad, take it apart, put it back together, do whatever. Well, except for iPad. Anyways, point is that you put something physical in my hand and I'm liable to screw something up. Like I was the kid who couldn't make a box in freaking shop class. Like, granted it was particle board, but my point is that quite a lot. I mean, I'm very interested in the laser cutting machine's really cool. The FamiLAB is a very interesting thing. I've always wanted to sit there and just mess around with like the beakers and not be in a godforsaken school. So that's been a thing.
Don't worry, we are still godforsaken.
Yeah,
I'll fit right in. So, did I answer your question? So, question.
Do you have a favorite fandom? It's important.
You're thinking too long. The answer is no.
Yeah. You have to look at your routine? Come on.
I do, because we sit here and watch stuff together all the time.
What's the last thing you enjoyed that you, or watched that you enjoyed?
Or read.
I want to think of something this evening off the top.
Or played?
I love the Witcher series, but I don't know if that's my favorite fandom. Like, see, I should have been prepared. I mean, the second that you asked that question, I was just like,
It just all went blank.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done anything in 4 years.
The only thing I've been really big into lately has been Elden Ring. I've been playing that more and more lately. Love Elden Ring. All the From Software games. Nice. So, yeah.
What is Quest? What is Quest?
Oh. I usually just mess around on side quests.
What is your favorite color?
Pink.
What's the speed of an unladen swallow?
I think it's 33 meters a second.
Please fly
it.
Which captain is the best captain?
Who's captain here?
Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
Harkness.
I like you.
Hard. Jack.
Well, thank you, Sterling. Sterling David Dabling.
No. Dabling.
Yes.
What's your handle on Slack? It's Dabling. Okay.
Okay. Noted.
If you're not in our Slack,
I'm gonna.
okay, join our Slack. That.
Well, it's Aaron. I was like, who
That's-
was
yeah, that's
speaking from
Aaron.
behind the door? It's Aaron.
What's the question? Oh. That does it for member introductions. Unless there's somebody in the meet. Mangalore. Yes. Oh, hi.
Hello. It's actually Otis. Hold on, let me get my camera on.
Terrible with names tonight. I'm sorry.
Lily is the one who's the
hi.
best pronouncing name in the entire organization.
Sorry.
Yes, hi, this is Mangesh and my son Ojas.
So
Primarily, the reason.
He's the actual member. I'm not a member because I am legally still a child. So yeah. Hello.
But yeah, so the reason why we are, we are really interested to be becoming member is because Ojas' interest in robotics, and he was part of one of the FTC team last year and before that as well. And there's a lot of stuff that he tinkers around, right from 3D printing and laser cutting. I think he can show some of his work that he's doing currently, and maybe that will speak for it better than what I can.
So I don't know what he's talking about because I don't tinker nearly as much as he thinks I do. I turned this LED on.
Thanks to.
Yeah,
thanks to the other day, we were there, and Brian Manchester, they introduced us to a lot of cool stuff, and that was neat. And I thought, and Forces did pick up a lot of that and tried around a few things. So that's what he's talking about, is turning on a LED using the switch and all. So. And yeah, O just wants to show his some of his work that he's currently working on.
Yeah, hold on. It's taking a second to load.
While it's loading, what's your favorite fandom?
MCU, maybe, if that counts.
That counts, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
And congratulations on being the first person to be able to answer that question tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
The only one who's not legally an adult was able to. Our brains are old.
Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah. So this is a drivetrain that I'm working on for my robotics team right now. Yeah, I currently got roasted by one of the older alumni or alums. They were he said that it's too tall for the current thing, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to shorten it. But yeah, so far this is just the drivetrain. As you can see at the bottom, we're using cannon wheels.
Oh yeah.
So we can just strafe around. It's super fun. You just
Such a love-hate relationship with those wheels.
yeah. Any questions so far?
It's done. Will you be doing any competition?
Yes. So I think our season starts around in September. Yeah.
Make sure to post updates.
We'll do.
Thank
I
you.
might bring the team in to show you guys someday.
You can show it next meeting.
Oh, all right.
By then, right?
Cool.
Thank
Don't
you.
mind Mike, he's a jerk. It's just a joke.
So any more questions?
I'm giving you 3-1 odds at being the first person out of everybody in the room today to finish a project.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take those odds.
If somebody roasted
I'll
you,
take that.
that says more about them than it does about your project. Yeah, God.
I mean, that's only what, like 6 or 7 inches tall? I don't know what size motors those are, but
Oh no! This is like wait, 6 or 7 inches.
yeah.
Oh, you mean the total height?
Yeah, the person said it was too tall.
Yeah, it's
There is a limit to on the 4 sides, right?
no. That's not the reason. It was just too tall because then we need to fit more things on top of it eventually.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a payload on it?
Yeah. So I don't know what the what the thing is gonna be this year, but last year we had these little blocks that we had to move around and put it into things. I'll send you the trailer so for last year's game.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing what we make and seeing it in here in person.
I'm very surprised.
Cool.
Yeah. We haven't had this many people involved in like.
Where did my tab go?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes. Can you? Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. We did skip upcoming events. We have our open house on the second Tuesday. You're fired. We have our open house on the second Tuesday of the month. The next one is August 9th. We have our next board meeting on the second Thursday of the month. The next one is August 11th. I'll just keep going. Then we have our next member meeting on the third Tuesday of the month, which next month is August 16th. Does anybody have any final questions, comments, concerns, things they would like in the official meeting?
I don't want to discuss this, but start thinking about Maker Faire.
Yes. Oh, yes. Good. Yeah, actually.
Let's talk about this offline after we close the meeting.
Yeah. So Maker Faire, for those that don't know, is the awesome show and tell adult science fair that happens in Orlando every year. It is the first weekend of November, which is November 4th or 5th, 4th and 5th. And we need a awesome project to have there. And some people to sit at the table and talk about FamiLAB and show off projects.
They don't even have to be your projects.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be good.
Or finished.
But that is coming up. We'll be talking about it over the next few months. I personally will be way too busy with Robot Ruckus, fighting robot stuff. So if anybody wants to charge of FamiLAB for Maker Faire and are showing there, that'd be great.
Thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Mike. So if nobody else has anything they would like to add to the meeting, we will conclude it there. It has been a longer than usual meeting, and with that, if anybody does have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you would like to talk about as it pertains to FamiLAB in an official sense, please reach out to us. The board, our ears and doors are always open to the members. You can message us on Slack. You can email us. There is also an anonymous reporting form. Please let us know what you'd like to see screwing up. If you just want to yell at us, whatever. We are always here to talk to the members.
We can't know what you want or don't want if you don't say anything.
Yes, we are here to serve the members, and we are here to help FamiLAB grow, maintain, and flourish.
And like you, the board is members themselves.
So with that, we will conclude our meeting. Thank you for everyone, to everyone for showing up, and have a wonderful night, and we'll see you later.
League.